Hello students, welcome to this video. As you know that there are many things around us, but we don't know whether they are pure or not. Through this chapter, we can identify pure or impure matter. By this flowchart, you can understand matter are classified into two ways. Matter on the basis of physical property and on the basis of chemical properties. On the basis of physical properties, matter are three types: solid, liquid, and gas. And on the basis of chemical properties, matter are two types: pure substance and impure substance. Pure substance are two types: elements and compound. Elements consist of only one kind of atom and cannot be divided into simpler substance, whereas compound consists of two or more elements and can be divided into simpler substance. Elements are three types: metals, non-metal, and metalloids. Homogeneous mixture, impure or mixture are two types: homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. A mixture in which substances are completely mixed are called homogeneous mixture. Sugar solution, sea water, air, petrol, etc. Homogeneous mixture is a mixture in which substance remains separate. Example of heterogeneous mixture: sugar, sand, soap solution, etc. Homogeneous mixture known as solution, and heterogeneous mixture are two types: colloids and suspension. Let us study about the element in detail. An element cannot be split into two or more simpler substances because it is made up of only one kind of atoms. Example: iron, copper, gold. Iron, copper, gold are the example of metal. Oxygen and carbon is example of non-metals. And silicon and boron are the example of metalloids. There are 118 elements present at present. On the basis of the properties of elements, divide into three groups: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Metals are the elements that is malleable, ductile, and conduct electricity. Example of metals are gold, silver, iron, copper, etc. Non-metals Non-metals are the elements which neither malleable, ductile and does not conduct electricity. Metalloids Metalloids are the elements which have some property of metals and some other properties of non-metal. Example of metalloids are silicon and boron. There are two pictures of iron substance: keys and nails. Iron substance made up of only one kind of atoms. Look here. So it is pure substance. Compounds. Compounds in this picture, these molecules are same type, so we can say this picture is of elements. Here two elements or three elements combine to each other and form compound. So a compound is a substance made up of two or more elements chemically combined fixed by mass. Compound divides into three classes: acids, bases, and salts. Acids are sour in taste, bases are bitter in taste, and about them we have already studied in 7th class. Some examples of compounds are water, carbon dioxide, hydrochloric acid. In this picture you can see a glass of water, and water is made up of two molecules, hydrogen and oxygen. There is two molecules of hydrogen and one molecules of oxygen, and they are combined to each other very firmly. In this slide, you can see the difference between the compound and mixture. Compound, the composition of elements present in compound is fixed. Example, carbon dioxide, CO2. In CO2, oxygen are two molecules and carbon has one molecules. Carbon has one molecules and oxygen has two molecules. And these are very chemically combined in fixed proportion. The composition of element present in mixture is not fixed. The properties of compound are different from those its elements. But mixture shows properties of all its constituent elements. Compound considered can be separated by chemical methods or by chemical reactions. Its constituent can be separated by the physical method. Evaporation, sublimation, filtration, and magnet all are the physical methods of separation. A compound is always homogeneous nature, whereas mixture is always heterogeneous or homogeneous in nature. A compound has fixed melting and boiling point. A mixture do not have fixed boiling and melting point. Mixture. A mixture is a substance which consists of two or more elements or compounds not chemically combined together. All solutions are mixtures. Some example of mixtures are salt, air, salt solution, brass. Brass is a mixture but it is not solution, it is a solid in nature. Milk, brass are formed by the mixture of copper and zinc. Milk, blood, petrol, etc. are the other example of mixture. Mixture are two types: homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture, these are called as a solution, whereas heterogeneous mixture are called as suspension or colloids. Substance of homogeneous mixture are uniformly distributed, but substance of heterogeneous mixtures are unevenly distributed. You can see this picture also, the distribution of molecules. Here, two types of molecules, yellow and red. In homogeneous mixture, red and yellow atoms are uniformly distributed, but in heterogeneous mixture, those molecules are unevenly distributed. They are not visible in naked eye because the molecules of homogeneous mixture are very small, but we can see by the microscope. But the heterogeneous mixture are very easily visible by naked eye or microscope. You can see by the microscope also, because its particles are little larger or larger than the homogeneous mixture. The particles either smaller or larger in size. Salt water are example of homogeneous mixture. Soft drink is also, and air is also example of homogeneous mixture, whereas milk, paint and ink, blood are the example of heterogeneous mixture. In next slides, solution, suspension and colloids. By this slide you can differentiate solution, suspension and colloids. The substance which is dissolved in liquid and make a solution is called solute, and liquid which is in which solute is dissolved is known as solvent. Example, sugar solution where sugar is solute and water is the solvent. Aerated drink like soda water, these contain carbon dioxide as a solute and water is a solvent. True solution cannot scatter a beam of light passing through it. Suspension, those substances which are insoluble in water form suspension. It is a heterogeneous mixture in which small particle of solid spread throughout a liquid without dissolving in it. Example of suspension: muddy water, chalk water, etc. The solute particle settle down in suspension when suspension is left undisturbed, and solute particles separate from mixture by filtration. So we can say by filter paper, or by filter paper we can separate solute particle from the suspension. Suspension scattered a beam of light passing through it till the particle settled down. Colloids. Colloids appear homogeneous, but actually it is heterogeneous. The size of particles in colloid is bigger than the solution, but smaller than the suspension. Example, milk and ink. The particle of colloid can pass through a filter paper. So it cannot separate by filtration because filter paper cannot separate solute particles, but centrifugation solute particles separate from the solution. Centrifugation is also a physical method of separation. Colloids. Colloids scattered a beam of light passing through it. Let's look here. Here is a picture of beam beam of light which are passing through a different mixture. First is a solution, second is a colloid, and third is a suspension. So in solution we cannot see light, but in colloid the beam of light easily visible, and suspension is in suspension also you can see the beam of light are visible. The Tyndall effect. The Tyndall effect of scattering of light. Scattering of light. This process also show scattering of light, right? By the particles in colloid or suspension, because colloid, the particle of colloid and suspension is larger than the true solution. That's why they scattered of light. They scattered the beam of light, right? Okay, thank you.